Step one, we're going to remove these 2 screws on the bottom here and the 2 screws right here to remove this magazine out of the way. Okay, so we have this little clamp right here that we clamp this up. We clamp it out of the way so we don't have to remove the wires out of the connections here. The next step is we're going to remove 7 screws from the module that connects to the door. And there's 3 on the top here, and there's 4 right here in the bottom. Okay, before removing the module, we stick the popsicles here where the coin drops to hold the buttons in place while we remove the module. Dale. Here on the last screw you take off, you got to hold on to the module as you're taking off the last screw. Pull out straight out very carefully. So as you're pulling out the module, you got to be very careful with these plates on where they come off. We have the one that goes on the left from the inside, has the longer rod for the suction cup. That goes on to the button here. And hold on. This is going to be like so. And then the one with the shorter one goes over here for the napkin side. So those got to be put in place. So on the old module, they have 2 springs here for the buttons, one for the right, one for the left. Just transfer those springs from the old module to the new module in the same location of these posts. Okay, on these right here where the springs go into the buttons, you have to make sure they fall into those little tubes coming off of the buttons. Line those up and then push the module in. And then you can begin putting the screws in. So just in case you got the screws mixed up, the 7 that go on the module are slightly longer than the 2 that go on the end of this magazine here. So the shorter ones will go here, it's a number 6, and the longer ones will go for the module connecting to the door. Sigue con el otro.
¿No está?
No. Dale. Make sure all the screws are tight. Don't overly tighten them because they'll strip. Okay, and the next step.
That's good.
That's good. Next step is putting the magazine back on.
Remove the...
Okay, so after you get the magazine on, line up at least one of the holes and put the clamp back on. That way you get one hole lined up and then you're able to line up the rest of the holes. Dale. So you leave the 2 top ones a little loose so you can line up. See? So you can line up the bottom 2. So at this point you can start tightening up the screws. And then you finish off, tighten the two top ones. Okay, so the last step after you tighten up the screws is to remove the popsicle sticks, test, forward and return, and that's concluded.